What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
Did you guys know that Lili Reinhart served as an executive producer of Chemical Hearts? Yes, and now she's asked to work on a sequel. The question is, will Chemical Hearts 2 happen?
My house is up there. I have a car. I can give you a ride if you want.
We've got some really bad news. The CW is letting Riverdale go. The Archie comics series, created and executive produced by Roberto Aguirre Sascara, is ending with its 7th season, which means we'll soon have to say goodbye to our favorite cast ensemble. They'll no longer play the roles of Jughead, Betty, Veronica, and Archie. There's no doubt that we'll see more of Reinhart in future projects. The fact she made her executive producer debut for Chemical Hearts says more than enough for us to believe that her career's just started. For those of you not familiar, Chemical Hearts is a romance drama that follows the story of teenagers Henry and Grace. Now, there are two very different types of teenagers. The one is ready to meet the love of her life, while the other is trying to recover from loss and is not interested in new romances. They meet each other at school, where they work together as co-editors for the school newspaper. As time goes by, they develop a strong bond, and unlike most teen TV shows and movies, this one hits hard. It gives the most unexpected plot twists and, more importantly, leaves space for a sequel. The first installment was released on Prime Video on August 21, 2020, and it quickly took the world by storm with the amazing performances by Lili Reinhart and Austin Abrams. Sadly, it's been almost 2 years since the first installment premiered, with the network not releasing an official announcement regarding a continuation. Based on a book by Crystal Sutherland, the film used the entire source material for the first film, but you've got nothing to worry about because, considering the popularity of the first installment, Sutherland might consider writing a sequel to the first book, which will lead to another film. Hopefully. Fans can't wait to see a continuation of Grace and Henry's story, which proves that the sequel will happen. It's just a matter of time. If the second installment gets greenlit in 2022, our guess is that we'll see it in 2023 at the earliest. Reinhart confirmed that if you want another part, you need to smash that like button if you haven't done it already. Now, let's get into details about returning cast members. The first film introduces Austin Abrams and Lili Reinhart in the roles of Henry and Grace.
The thing is, adults are just scarred kids who were lucky enough to make it out of limbo alive.
Kara Young plays the role of Henry's best friend, Lola, and Coral Pena plays the role of Cora, Lola's love interest. Supporting roles are played by Sarah Jones, CJ Hoff, Shannon Walsh, Bruce Altman, and Adhir Kalyan. Since Amazon has yet to address the rumors for a sequel, we don't really know which of these cast members will return to reprise their roles. Perhaps we'll see different leads this time. What do you guys think of that?
This is Grace.
Hi.
Hi!
But we also believe that Henry and Grace's story deserves to be continued. So if Chemical Hearts 2 happens, what kind of plot should fans expect to see? Since the story was based on a book and it stayed completely loyal to the source material, they might be waiting for the author to write a sequel so they continue the storyline and do justice to its predecessor. But there's another option. The creators could come up with their own version of a continuation. The first installment ends with Henry and Grace going their separate ways. Yeah, we know. It felt like watching The Kissing Booth 3 all over again. Anyways, Henry goes off to college while Grace realizes that she needs some time for herself. The writers could take the story in any direction. Literally, they could go anywhere. We could see a time jump with the sequel following the same characters several years after the events of the first film. We've seen them as teenagers. Now it'd be fun to see them in their 20s. After all, the 20s are the most challenging. What do you guys think? Is this a good idea? More importantly, do you think the sequel deserves to happen? Let us know. Now, a lot of fans believe that Chemical Hearts is based on a true story. Well, no, the film is not based on a true story, but it surely represents the reality of a lot of relationships. As previously said, the movie is based on the book Our Chemical Hearts by Crystal Sutherland. The book, along with the film adaptation, is not about how happy and beautiful teen love is. Instead, the story follows a heartbreaking plot with both the lead characters going through heartbreaks. The story hits hard. The message behind the book is not that every love is meant to last forever. If we're being completely honest with you, we really enjoyed the plot, and we wish to see more stories like this in the future. It doesn't always have to be rainbows and butterflies and happily ever afters, when in reality, a lot of love stories are heartbreaking. We know how depressing this sounds, but it's true. Lili Reinhart and Richard Tan agreed to do the film simply because of how realistic this story was. Tan, who also served as the director of the film, believes the story is resonating strongly with him. It really appealed to me because, unlike most teen romance movies, it wasn't a story about the first great love of your life. It was a story about the first great heartbreak of your life, he said in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, adding that he could relate to that because his own high school heartbreak mirrored that of Grace and Henry's story. Interestingly enough, just like Henry, Tane was editor-in-chief of his school newspaper where he got infiltrated with his girl who seemed interested but somehow just out of reach. Have you guys ever experienced something similar? Let us know. When it comes to Lili, she said that the depth and the darkness of Henry and Grace's relationship are things that dragged her to the project. We'll talk about Reinhart's involvement in the film a bit later in the video. Now let's see why this story is painful to watch.
Love. It's a chemical reaction that comes and goes.
Yeah, I know, we already mentioned that this is not an ordinary love story with a happy ending, but according to most fans, the storyline between the lead couple was not the only thing they found difficult and painful to watch. The two leads carry most of the movie, which is normal. I mean, they are leads after all, but the other characters like Henry's sister, parents, and friend group almost got zero development, and the viewers who have read the book claim that this is the biggest mistake of the film. The creators should have given the other characters more screen time. Perhaps the sequel could focus on them a little bit more. Don't you guys agree? Now it's time to get into more details about Reinhart as an executive producer.
My last editorial and my last issue released on my last day of high school.
Along with being the female lead of the film, Reinhart also serves as an executive producer. The actress, mostly known thanks to her role as Betty in Riverdale, was more than happy to be given the chance to bring Grace to life. "People haven't really seen what I'm fully capable of," she told EW. "Maybe they only see me being on a commercial television show, and I hope that this shows people that my heart is really in the film. I want people to see me as something other than Betty Cooper. It's hard to break out of that mold. Sadly, more and more actors struggle with being typecast, and we believe that won't be the case with Lili." The actress has plenty of roles under her belt as she's appeared in films such as Hustlers and Miss Stevens, but so far her biggest project is Chemical Hearts because she also served as executive producer. She perfectly knows how challenging this task was, saying that it was a lot of work and it was cool to be an executive producer, to actually have a say in things. She added that it's time for you to smash that subscribe button and notification bell so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future. No, seriously, she said it's something that she wasn't used to, having that influence, but according to her, it was an incredibly collaborative experience. We'll see you in the next video.
I just want to say, you are an extraordinary collection of atoms, Henry Page.